Welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back. If you have, my intention is unity and oneness. So I want to talk a little bit about the energies, so give you guys maybe some tools to play with and then go into flow with the guides. I just want to share that I want to invite everybody to drop into your hearts right now, feel into your body, take a deep breath in. Just recognize and acknowledge where you are energetically right now, how you are feeling in your body. One of the biggest messages that the guides have been reminding me about every time I channel or go into flow, everything here now all at once, the merge of realities, the connection points of time streams and consciousness, how important it is for us to feel into and through our physicality into this reality, to project more of that into the reality so we can clear out the old that has kept us in, I'm hearing the mold, the old mold, clean it out. Whoosh. The other thing that's been coming through is to be patient with ourselves. I've had the pleasure of connecting just this week with beautiful humans from all degrees. And when I say this picture behind me is just a really good visual tool that is kind of how I see reality. I've been drawn to this type of shape, the snowflake, right? The layers of geometry, the diamond, the star, I could go on to the triangles, the cubes. It's just, we are so interconnected and interwoven together. Yet this spot right here doesn't know that this bubble over here is connected. And they're all encapsulated within their own wheel, if you will. And that's how it's going to continue to feel at times. Yet we are all connected through those lines. Not trying to rhyme, I just am. I am that I am. And so recognizing that each of us is located within a particular place in this reality for a reason is so important, so that we can come back to our own sense of who we are individually. We can't collectively change things or grow our reality in the direction that we want to see it grow if we aren't shifting and growing in the direction that we want to shift and grow. If we're continually feeling anxious and unhappy and depressed, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment though, because that's part of this journey from my perspective. And we're not doing the things that we need to do in order to take charge. That's a play on words. Charge is energy, frequency, light. To burst through that into the next level or layer of our being, we aren't going to see that reflection reflected back to us. We're only going to continue to see more distortions, because that anxiety, that fear, that frustration, at the heart of it, at the core of our center, is not who we really are. Yet many of us have been operating from that center for a really long time. Or everything was fine. We were just going along in our own little bubbles, in our own little snowflake, and all of a sudden, boom, something happens. And we're in a place of fear. We're dealing with things that we didn't know were there before, that are showing up for us in our relationships, in our jobs, with our children, with our family members, or just inside of our bodies. We might be feeling this sense of unworthiness that we are finally having to deal with, that we never even realized we had before, or we've known all along that it was there and now it's rearing its ugly head, and we are looking at ourselves from that perspective of feeling unworthy. So some people aren't there at all. Some people are in this sunshine and rainbows bubble of light and alchemy, and everything they touch turns to gold. And hey, that's where they're at in their journey. I'm really being called to invite everybody. That doesn't mean that's where you are in your journey. Recognizing that and giving ourselves space to hold space for whatever it is that we're feeling is so important. I'm also being called to remind everybody that we don't have to constantly stir the pot. If we are feeling good, one of the things I've noticed with in session lately, there's a little bit of guilt with a lot of people for feeling good while all these terrible things are going on in the world. That's complicated, because just because someone else is going through tragedy doesn't mean we have to experience their tragedy. We're not separate. That's a whole other video I should probably do. But it all comes back to what I've said in previous videos, if you've watched these before, but I'm going to say it again now. Put your own life jacket on first, because you can't save the next person next to you if you're drowning. And the other thing is, the person next to you may not want to be saved. And in addition to that, we may not be able to save a person that is out of arm's reach from us. So we can't not put our life jackets on because people in another country don't have theirs. So these are all messages that have been coming up in session this week. Not just in session, but I recognize this within myself. So the guides are talking about how important it is for us to acknowledge how we're feeling and allow those feelings to flow through us. If we're feeling overwhelmed, take a break, turn off the news, do some meditation, do some breath work, find our center that is going to allow us to work through the feelings of ... fill in the blanks, fear, anger, frustration, confusion, regret, self-judgment, and allow that to move. I did a beautiful session, and I'm going to do session diaries at some point. I just haven't had a chance to share them. So thank you to the beautiful people I've worked with this week who I did sessions with, that give me this opportunity to bring this information to other people that might need the same help, that might be going through the same things, that might be not sure how to move. I'm sharing this because even though I did this, every individual has certain exercises that I'll be called to share with them that might be just for them, messages that are just for them. But on a collective level, all of us feel fear at times. All of us feel regret and all the things I listed earlier. So while what works for me may not work for you, or what works for you may not work for your neighbor, we're being called to do what works for us. And what worked for us a year ago may not work for us now. So what the guides have been sharing with me is our body is going through such massive upgrading, up-leveling. We are really being shaken to the core of our beliefs, of what we think we know about ourselves, of what we thought we knew about ourselves, about this reality, about the world, about our family, about our friends, about being human. That's all being shaken up. We're potentially going to have more earthquakes and floods and earth changes. And simultaneously, this is happening as within, so without. The irony in all of this, and I'm playing with that because I'm hearing is that we are collectively co-creating our reality for the future now. So if we continue to focus on what's going wrong, the shadow, what hasn't worked, and I'm not saying it isn't important to recognize and acknowledge that. I always call it raw. Recognize and acknowledge. Well, it's important for us, and I'm covering a lot of bullet points right now, guys, so just fill in the blanks, whatever resonates with you. Rather than focusing on what we don't want to see, what we feel hurt by, what we feel angry about, we're really being called to go back within, to feel gratitude for what we do have, what is working for us, what we can feel right now versus what we can't feel. And start there. Because if we look at the bigger picture and we look at everything in the bigger picture, we can be overwhelmed. It can be overwhelming. It can be shocking. It can make us feel paralyzed in those feelings and emotions. And if we continue to swim in that, it's going to feel like we're drowning. So we have to take those small moments and allow ourselves that moment to the next that moment, to the next that moment. So eventually those all start to add up, and then we can just feel a little bit of relief, less confusion, maybe just a smidge more relaxed. Maybe our breathing is that much easier because we took 2 minutes to breathe in for 5 counts and to breathe out for 5 counts. Because we took 2 minutes throughout our day, as often as we can, to give thanks. I'm taking this moment right now because I just got a wave. This is how it works, you guys. You guys, just because you start to open this stuff up doesn't mean it's all sunshine and rainbows. I just get this, I'm getting these headaches, I'm getting these crown activations. It feels like picks into my brain sometimes. It feels like womp. It feels like goosebumps. It feels like spins. It feels like chills. It feels like I could go on and on. 6 years ago, I'd gone straight to the doctor. And by the way, if you're experiencing this for the first time, I encourage you to go to your doctor. Get checked out. Give yourself peace of mind. It's okay to do that. I still go to the doctor. And by the way, I still have general medicine that I take when the natural stuff doesn't work because I've been avoiding certain things. That's just works for me. Do what works for you. Do you, boo? You be you. The reason I'm saying this is because a lot of people are trying to do what works for other people. They're trying to do what somebody else told them to do. They're trying to make a decision based on somebody else telling them, you need to do this. I do give thoughtful feelings of, I do give my impression of what might be helpful for someone in a session, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. It's just my suggestion. It's getting people to think outside of the box. Having said that, some of those things that you've been doing may not work anymore. So try something new. Maybe it's not working and you should try a suggestion on what somebody else is recommending. Go do both. So I have to, throughout my day, take the time to just sit in quiet reflection. I'm feeling this charge, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling this overwhelming jet stream of emotion. I'm going to take a second, I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to send out from my heart gratitude for everybody watching this video. Thank you. Gratitude for my family. Okay. The reason I'm sharing this over and over and over again is because we have to be reminded sometimes over and over again. How many times has somebody said, hey, try this, and we never do it, and then we're like, oh my gosh, somebody said that 3 years ago. Maybe I should try that now. It's happened to me this week. Okay. So try new things. Listen to you, though. Feel into what you might need to try differently without listening to other people sometimes. Do both. We sometimes are so used to listening to others that we forget to listen to ourselves. We forget to listen to our own advice. We forget to listen to what we're feeling inside of us. And if we're scrambled, sometimes it's helpful to listen to someone else. But we've got to do both, because as we create this reality in this future, one of the issues, if we call it that, is that we've been listening so much to other people that we've forgotten how to listen to ourselves, how to listen to our heart. So this summer I'll be doing some videos, I think, around that, how to listen to the heart, how to listen. You can look up heartmath.org. You can go on to Yoga Nidra is very helpful. You can do breath work, it's very helpful. I use all of those things as tools to self-regulate is what's coming through. Self-regulate. I keep hearing that. Self-regulate. Self-regulate. Okay, so hopefully that was just a little rant, was helpful for someone. Everybody's at different stages and levels of their awakening, and so honoring wherever you're at is so important. Honoring where others are at is so important. There was more. Just taking my notes. Forgot to bring them in. Let's just go in a flow. And then we'll end on that note. Okay. So, taking a deep breath in. Feeling into what I'm sharing. When I drop into this space of channeling, it shifts the frequency. I've been in a state of flow, which is channeling, essentially. I'm just tuning into a word play, an energy that can be helpful to shift the frequency in the way we feel into communication. And there are many transits that are happening planetarily currently. All of that is a play on words. Currents, transits, transitions. We are transiting into and through a cycle of deeper awareness. Many of us are feeling the call to go into a place of inner, I'm hearing ascension, descending into ascension. So it's like we're going down to go up. So I'm going to stop and talk about that just for 2 seconds, or a little few more. I talked earlier about not dabbling in the shadow beyond what we need to. Sometimes we have to go down into that space in order to move up. And I'm being shown this shape again. So it's like we might have to go down over there to go back up to there, if that makes sense. We have to change our direction. We are being called to shift our focus, but we must look within to see and sift through the frequency that is within, that allows us to shift through into the direction that we are seeking to move into from within. For many of us have been looking outside of ourselves to base our frequency. From our base frequency, base chakra system, base energies. That's a play on words, like the bottom, right? And we've based our reality from just the lower frequencies, just fear, survival, And while this is definitely part of what we are all part of, we have to have a baseline, a base frequency, a base design. Yet our schematic is much broader than we have given ourselves credit for. You guys, as I say this, I want to talk briefly about what the guides were saying is, I could dip into a really high, I'm going to go back and forth and I'll give it for instance. So I'm going to do wordplay and I'm going to try to be linear. I'm going to do a little light language And then that'll transition me into a different frequency. This is meant to be felt, and I'm only going to do it for a few seconds. And this is an example of frequency shifting, allowing ourselves to shift into a different energy exchange to adapt our frequency and wordplay so that we can tune up, if you will, so we can tune into a new way of accessing more. What we just did was share a linguistic energy exchange, yet we also breathed into and out of that frequency of letting go, of up leveling, of allowing ourselves to center and focus and change our focus from one direction into another, from one bandwidth into another. And all of us are moving in and out of these bandwidths at all times. And so we are being called to adapt with the changing times, to allow ourselves to move through the changing tides, the ebb and flow, if you will, to allow us to ebb and flow into more of what we already know, that which is inside of us, that which has been cuboctin. I'm hearing a cuboctrinity, cuboctrin. And play with us. For we come in all shapes and sizes. We come in all frequencies. Some will dabble over here. Some will dabble over here. I'm hearing a dibble and a dabble. Some will play with music. Some will play with geometry. Some will play with codes in this way. So what is it that you are tuned into? What is it that lights up your grid, so to speak? What is it that lights up your frequency? Is it sound? Is it light? Is it color? Is it language? Is it dance? Is it movement? Is it all of those things? Is it touch? Is it listening? Is it feeling? Is it word association? Is it mathematics? Is it science? Is it writing? Is it, I'm just seeing, what is it? Find it. Move into that space more often, more frequently. Allow yourself to band with it. Allow yourself to sit in it. Allow yourself to create from that space of inner connectivity. I'm hearing quit denying your own calibrations. So as I say that, it's like a lot of people are they want to do this, they want to play, they want to do ceramics, they want to do painting, they want to learn a new language, but they don't have time. And I'm guilty of this at times. Let go of the guilt. Dishuku ana. It just takes a little dabble, do ya? It just takes a moment of inner recognition in order to fine-tune that dance, in order to dance in and through the new way of weaving with reality. Allow it to blend with you, and the fluidity of it will move through you. You will move out of the base frequencies, and you will move into a higher geometric pattern or resonance within the residency of the heart, the frequency that allows us to move up density, out of density, yet move with more spaciousness in fulfillment. So we're being called to fulfill ourselves, to find our fulfillment in nature, whatever nurtures us. So we all are born with these likes. We've also taken on and grown into something, like I'm seeing people that at one time you liked scary movies and that made you feel excited, and now you want nothing to do with them and you want comedy. And you feel like, I want to be an actress. I want to be an actor. I want to bring comedy to people. I want to write a movie. I want to write a play. I want to go, it doesn't matter. They're just saying, play with it. Play with the idea of it. Ooh, this reminds me of a session I had last week with someone about this. It's kind of a universal thing. Like, a lot of people are feeling this, you guys. What can I do that is different, that allows me to do more than what I was doing before? Not in a busy way, in a fulfilling way, in a full feeling way, in feeling the fullness of life. Because that is going to be what allows us to co-create together in a new way of coexistence in reality and support each other in fulfilling ourselves. Again, I'm going back to the life jacket, because a lot of us have been in survival mode and we're just like, I'm gonna barely eat, I'm not gonna drink water, I'm just gonna power through. I've got more clients I have to work with, I've got to do this, I've got to support this person, I've got to look good, I've got to feel good, but I can't do that, I have to do this. It's just, it's so linear. And so what I'm hearing is transactional. So we're being guided to stop living in a transactional way and give ourselves more of our own inner essence. I'm gonna write that word down because this is relevant. It's a depth. Now, it's becoming more adept with our own inner resources. So that might be working with someone like me. It might be going and getting body work. It might mean we might not know what that looks like to us because we're so used to doing what everybody else is telling us to do. And we've ignored our own inner pull, right? Or it might be the opposite. We've been ignoring what other people have suggested, and nothing we've done has worked so far. So maybe we try something somebody else suggested. But what I'm seeing is we don't have to feel badly about making these choices. We don't have to feel guilty for being happy, to find our own happiness. Because it goes all back to, and I'm going to end on this note, be the change. How can we be the change when we aren't fulfilling what it is that we need to fulfill in order to be all that we can be in this reality, in order to then launch the next reality? If we keep pulling along all this stuff, we're not going to, and by the way, I was shown like this earlier, this big flush. We're in the big flush right now. Allow ourselves to feel what's being let go. Just let it go. We can feel it, but we don't have to hang on to it. Don't let it drag us down. This doesn't mean we can't feel love for those who aren't able to be happy right now. It doesn't mean that we don't support them in any way that we can. We just don't have to go down the toilet with them. You know, I'm hearing, we're the toilet cleaners. We're just going to go around, we're going to help that clogged plumbing, but we got to unclog our own pipes first before we can allow ourselves to be that starburst, that rainbow, that color, that energy of light, that frequency of flow. So there's so much more that's coming through, but hopefully someone found that helpful. In love and light. Thank you to everyone who I've worked with this week, because you inspire me. And because of you, I get to share this with the 50 people that'll watch this. But if you found this helpful, please share, like, share, all that stuff, subscribe. Thank you so much. In love and light. Namaste. Oh, and by the way, the 50 people that do watch this, it's a ripple effect, because we're the ones that share this with others. I don't mean just share the video. I mean, share our love and support. Thanks for the reminder, neighbor. Thanks for the reminder, energy healer. Thanks for the reminder, coworker. I'm going to take that and I'm going to ripple that out. It isn't about how many people watch these videos. It's about how much impact the one person that watches this video has on 100 other people, so on and so forth. In love and light. Namaste.